Holy smokes. It has been pretty much a week. And it's been the holidays with New Year's, but it's also been just absolutely nuts in my life. And there's been some good, there's been some bad. I'm optimistic, but I'd probably say it's been 50-50. So I'm going to try and give you guys a recap. Hopefully you guys can learn from the experience. And I'm going to tell you some unfortunate loopholes that I came across that I've had to basically plug up so I won't stumble on them in the future. But first off, I totaled 2 cars in under a week, which is not exciting at all. Yeah, I don't remember if I mentioned that in my previous video. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, yeah, my Celica decided to stop running. I think the timing belt went. Was a very old car, 18 years old. And then, yeah, the engine just said thanks, but no thanks. And then I had my grandparents' car that they were letting me use for the time being because they're getting a new car with the turn of the year here. And I've never gotten into an accident in 3 years of driving. And I got T-boned day 2. And I went over a curb, through a fence, into a swamp. I'm totally fine. No worries there. I'm 100% okay. But it was crazy. It was wild. Like a roller coaster, but much faster. And you're not even sure what's going on. Yeah, pretty scary stuff. But somehow that went well as well because they didn't have the title over. They didn't have the insurance over. So they just framed it in the sense that I was driving their vehicle, and it was all insured in their name. They had full coverage, and they actually got like way more for the car from the insurance company than they would have been able to sell the car for. So I guess that was a win too, in a sense, besides the fact of going through a fence and all that fun stuff. But yeah, and now I'm on car 3 that I'm also borrowing from the other side of the grandparents. No accidents yet, thankfully. But with those accidents and the lack of cars and just like that holiday blah, if you know what I mean, just like shutting down during the holidays and not feeling like doing anything, I gave myself 1.5 excuses. And yeah, the couple days that I didn't have any car at all, in between car 2 and 3, wow. Anyway, in between car 2 and 3, I stopped doing my calls in the morning. I played games in the morning. I skipped meditating. I skipped my devotionals. It was just honestly a mess. And with that came essentially looking for trouble. I made it to about, was it 12 days? I think I made it to 12 days. And then I just tossed everything out the window, pretty much, by finding a loophole. And the best part about that loophole is it kept me up, first off, kept me up till about 3 in the morning, and then I threw up. I was in the bathroom, throwing up. I'm fairly certain because of this, and because my brain was cleaning itself up, was feeling great, was doing great, and once again, I flooded my dopamine receptors, and I just poisoned the whole thing again. Just ruined it. And that's such an abrupt switch to throw in your brain. Yeah, I never had this happen before, but yeah, I honestly felt sick to my stomach, and I literally threw up. Extremely, extremely unpleasant. But of course, that didn't stop me. It didn't stop my newly hardwired brain from seeking out that sort of stuff again the next morning. And at this point, I was pissed. So I added new restrictions to my phone, which won't allow me to download new apps. Period. I have to put in a password from either my dad or my friend in order to download a new app. Because Covenant Eyes is fantastic, but if you don't clog up those loopholes, any app that has some sort of social posting or internet access, this thing is going to kick your willpower in the butt every single time if you let it. Every single time if you're not careful. And I wasn't. So, with that being said, we now have those restrictions. And the other night, I was thinking, alright, so I clearly can't trust myself. I've clearly found not one, but like 3 different loopholes that I was able to get around this. And it's hurting me. It's literally hurting me. Making me feel absolutely terrible, as I know, as you guys know. So I really need to get rid of the rest of the temptation. I gotta find out all the loopholes, and we gotta get rid of all of them. Which, sure, great intentions, good idea, yes. But if you're alone, it's after midnight, and you're trying to do this, it's not gonna work. I was basically looking for trouble. I was like going down the dark alleys and looking for the bad guys, essentially. And the bad guys won, let's just say. I found them. I found them in junk mail on one of my old email accounts. And I found them on 2 different apps that seemed harmless. But if you are looking for it, it's there, because that's a society we live in. And yeah, I basically threw my, at that point it was a 2-day streak, out the window, and then deleted the apps. So on the bright side, the apps are deleted, and I won't be able to re-download them. And yeah, I don't think I've thought about it when I was around other people this time, but I've thought about it, and I honestly don't think I have apps that would allow me to find any of this sort of material. So yeah, I had to get rid of, I'm not going to tell you the names of the apps for those of you who might be struggling with the same thing, because I'm not trying to give you a way out, but just think about it. Any app that has some sort of social posting, even if it's educational, if there's things that anyone can put on the internet, whether it's news articles or books or music, you name it, if there's a social aspect and there's no filters, chances are you're going to find it, or it's going to find you. And if you're not super disciplined, it's not going to happen for you, willpower-wise. So my biggest takeaway from this is that I needed to stop looking for the things that could go wrong and start looking for the things that could go right. And this isn't some Yoda wisdom saying, but again, I was looking for trouble. I was thinking, where could I trip up? Where could I fall? Where could I fall on my face? In a sense, again, that is sort of good, because I'm trying to plan ahead. But I was focusing on the negative. I was focusing on what could go wrong. I was focusing on every tiny little possible thing that I could squeeze some sort of dopamine, sexualized, objectified image out of any app possible. And that's just not the way to go, because then you're constantly going to be worried about these things and not focusing on things you should truly be focused on, like family, like friends, your work, school, whatever. Things that bring a real, true smile to your face and real joy in that aspect. And then, to end this on a high note, I'm currently packing to go to campus tomorrow. I will be back on campus at college. I am no longer commuting, and holy smokes, am I excited, because that is going to take so much stress out of my life. For those of you who don't know, I'm commuting back and forth from, I was commuting back and forth from college, and I would stay at my dad's house for half the week, stay at my mom's house for the other half of the week. So I had to remember stuff for 3 different locations, and I was driving about an hour and a half a day, and then getting in time for work, an internship, homework, sleep, driving, eating, shower, all that good stuff. It wasn't happening, and something was always suffering, whether that be my grades one week and sleep the next, and you get the picture. So really excited to be back on campus. That's going to take a big burden off my shoulders. Got to pack up all sorts of stuff here, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, I'm going to be around a lot of people my age, not just my family. So I'll have people to bond with, not in any sense like that, but people to talk to, just, the social aspect, because I knew I was there, but I wasn't, involved. I felt very alone last semester, just because whenever people were doing stuff outside of classes, of course, I wasn't. I was driving home. That was a bummer. So, yeah, it's a big positive. Today's day one. Here we are at another day one, another fresh start. I honestly just need to be 100% consistent with these things, with my habits, with my standards, and stop making excuses. And yeah, I seriously don't trust myself, like I said, and I have pretty much everything blocked that could possibly throw me for a loop. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's rough, but in my mind, I will choose temporary inconvenience over a lifetime of pain and regret. So, we're kicking this thing in the butt ASAP. We're taking personal responsibility for our faults, and we are moving on. From now on, this is the way it's going to be. We're not worrying about the past. We're just worrying about today, and today only. So, with that being said, we are not going to lapse for the rest of the day. We're going to crush the rest of the day. I'm 90% sure there's going to be a video tomorrow. On my way driving to campus, hopefully. And, yeah. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Sorry for the loss of the streak there. But we're getting right back on the horse. And we're after it. So, with that, I will talk to you guys real soon. I'm serious this time. Take care. Blessings. Stay strong out there. Peace.